right, everyone, welcome back to the next episode of Beyond the Trailhead. Today is really cool. We've got this awesome guy, Shawn Willette. He's with No Matter Products, and I met him at a trade show, and I've seen his product in a few YouTube videos as well with a couple of cool outdoor YouTube channels. And I just thought it was a really cool product. He was a really cool guy. So I asked him to be on an episode because he's got a great story, and we had been talking a little offline before we got on here, a little more about his story and his journey into the outdoor industry. So Shawn, hey, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you, Craig. Yeah, that was the very generous, kind intro. We'll see if I'm worthy of it, but yeah, excited to talk about it. Excited to talk about my my humble little company and what we're trying to do.
Awesome. And then if everybody's watching, if you see a cat walk through, that's just his
She's a
wife's
menace.
kitty.
She might just make an appearance.
Great. Well, without further ado, I'm going to go straight into it. Just kind of asking you, kind of what were you doing maybe before you started this journey to create your product, and then let us know a little bit about what your product is and kind of how you started in it.
Sure, the background. So,
Yeah.
not what was I doing previously, what am I doing currently? So, by education, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I still work as a full-time engineer. I started off in like defense aerospace, and I actually currently work for a medical radioisotope company. So, like leagues and leagues away from the outdoor industry. So, No Matter Products was kind of an offshoot side hustle, side project thing that I started just basically around one singular product where we, getting into the future conversation here, we're working on some others, but it's still focused on just this one ultralight camping chair. And it was, the whole company is built around that effectively. And it was a brainchild I had when I was doing some alpine climbing, about 10 plus years ago now. I was just kind of getting into climbing. I've always been an outdoorsy guy. We're currently located in Wisconsin, grew up in Wisconsin, so love spending time outdoors, hunting, fishing, camping, all the good stuff, but never really had experienced any elevation. And so that was always an interest of mine to do some climbing. After college, a buddy of mine were like, "Hey, let's do something crazy. Let's just go out and try climbing Mount Rainier." We hooked up with a guide service, went out there. That was my first taste of, any kind of mountains or altitude, and I just loved it. I really, fell in love with just the the beauty, but also like the struggle, the challenge of climbing. Of it's kind of a long term. We talked a little bit about some running. It's kind of a long term endurance activity with a technical capability and
Yeah.
mentality to it. So that first time we did not summit. We got snowed in at like Camp Muir, which is like halfway up, and so about a year later, had to go back and finish the job. And that second trip to Mount Rainier actually was, and I have the exact picture, and it's on my website of the location that was the birthplace of the Antimatter Chair. So that's our lightweight flagship product where after a hard day of climbing, we were sitting at a tent and I was just looking out over the valley below on Mount
Yeah.
Rainier. It was like, I don't know, it was like 10,000 feet up or so. And it was just, it was warm. The sun was out. It was just a beautiful day. I was sitting, like I said, sitting in this tent, and I was bushwhacked. Just like, oh man, this is so nice. I'm just sitting in this tent enjoying this view, but I have to either be like sitting up, crisscross
Yeah.
applesauce, or laying back, or kind of, propping my hands back to relax and enjoy and see this. And I was like, oh man, I would kill for a chair right now.
Yeah.
It just to sit back, relax, and enjoy this moment. But that didn't have one. Okay, no big deal. But and what masochist is going to bring extra pack weight, right?
Yeah.
You're on Rainier. You have a pack weight that's already like 75, 80 pounds. You're not going to add multiple pounds
Yeah.
to that pack just for a chair you might use like 2, 3 times.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. I'm like, man, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be something that exists to help me out here. I'm just looking for like a backrest, just something to prop me up so I can, relax comfortably inside my tent. So got off the mountain and, just kind of again, this was like a hobbyist thing, just kind of perusing around on the normal uh outdoor gear suppliers, and like nothing like this
Yeah.
existed. There's a million different varieties of camping chairs. I'm like, this has to exist. You go through REI has their own brand, Coleman, Helinox, Big Agnes, Crazy Creek, um, Nemo. I'm sure I'm missing other ones, but
Yeah.
it's a very congested space for
Yeah.
camping chairs. Figured out it just didn't exist. Okay, oh well. As kind of echoing back to my mechanical engineering tendencies, I'm like, okay, like let's tinker, let's play around with something here. I
Yeah.
like building things. um, so I literally bought a crappy, I still have it, a crappy Brother sewing machine off
Mhm.
Amazon, and I had already had a 3D printer. So I'm like, okay, I can 3D print some plastic components. And it's easy enough to procure aluminum or carbon fiber tent poles off of various tent pole suppliers. Um, and I just started playing. I just was like, okay, there has to be a configuration. I kind of loosely in my head had something envisioned, based kind of on a hammock, where it's just you rely on the high strength fabric to
Yeah.
kind of cradle you into a position, and then just some back support rests to give you that inclination, but not kind of being hunched over at a full 90. I wanted to be
Yeah.
able to put my full weight back, and actually kind of recline chaise lounge style,
Yeah.
where you weren't, all hunched over or slung into what most lightweight camping chairs are. And that was the origination. Again, I really didn't have any aspirations of making a business out of this. It was just, something I wanted for myself.
Yeah.
So much so that I actually took some of the original designs just to a local, like, sewing company, and out of some canvas, and had them sew up the final configuration that I wanted. And this had some Easton carbon fiber poles and some 3D printed plastic and some aluminum inserts and things like that. And I actually took that. I took that with me on a couple climbing expeditions, just to use it, and I guess to field test it, but more so I just wanted something to do exactly the mission requirement that I had mentioned previously.
Yeah.
Um, so on one of those said trips, it was actually a climbing trip up to Alaska. I climbed Denali, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, that was 3 weeks on a mountain. That was an
That's
intense
super cool.
experience.
I wanted
Um,
to do that so much. So
I I
afterwards,
can't
I got to get that
recommend it
info from you.
enough. It is, yeah, it is incredible. Yeah, I will talk your ear off about it. It was amazing experience. I feel very fortunate just to say that I was on the mountain, let alone summited it, because like the
Yeah.
success rate for summiting is like 50%, give or take, based on the season.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's not like a lot of other, higher altitude. We're talking the Himalayas, where you have Sherpas, you have larger expeditions. Denali, you fly on the glacier with 120 pounds of gear, and you are hauling all of it. You're
Oh,
double
wow.
carrying. Yeah, it's a barrage style expedition. So no, it was insane. It
That's
was
cool.
awesome. But I was the envy of like our entire group, just because on those handful of days, and there were, I think, about a week total, we were snowed in. We got up to like 14,000 foot camp. Snowstorm came through. We were socked in for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Everyone, you stuck in your tent effectively for that time, and you're either laying down or
Yep.
sitting up, and that's your two options. I was awesome, man. I had my chair, I had a book, I had just like full recline, and I'm just able to read it. And
Yeah.
oh, it was fantastic. I had people asking to borrow it. And yeah, it was the unsung hero of that trip. So it's like that vindication, that was like, oh, awesome, cool. Like this could be something. Like this is
Yeah.
actually a really cool device that doesn't exist in industry, that yeah, um there's no competition really. It's a very niche product. It's
Yeah.
certainly not for everyone. It's certainly not the end all be all of camping chairs, but for that unique subset of adventurer, this kind of was a smash hit. So much more so, as the engineer, I was like, okay, can I patent this? Like,
Yeah.
can I protect this if I'm going to invest in taking this into becoming a company? And so that was, yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first thing I did. I uh, reached out to a patent firm, and yep, I got the patent for the antimatter chair, and several varieties and different configurations of that. That was granted, I believe, early 2024
Okay.
was when that patent was actually published and awarded. And yeah, and built kind of no matter products from there. It's gone through a whole bunch of iterations since that Denali revision. Going from Canvas, it's now evolved, and I know you have one, but it's
Yep.
evolved into um, a much more professional, at least I hope, much more professional product. With ripstop nylon, I get my carbon fiber poles sourced directly from Easton as an OEM,
Okay.
custom cut from them. They are like the pinnacle in all things carbon fiber
Yep.
tubes, especially for arrows, but they kind of breached over into 10 poles using the exact same technology. And then, yeah, like the plastic hardware and everything is all custom designed from an injection molding machine that I have from a third party, and then assembled by me in my basement. So
That's awesome.
that is the full arc of No Matter products where we're at now. We're certainly not a big company, nor even I'm going to call it a professional one. We're just
Yeah.
trying to make something that people resonate with.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I actually just heard a cool fact about Easton's carbon fiber because I grew up in Canada, so like
Sure.
played a little bit of hockey, not too much, but I know like in the hockey world,
Yep.
they're like the thing because of some process on how they patented where they can, I guess, wrap the carbon fiber a certain way or something like
Yeah,
that. Am I
so
correct?
they sold it. So, growing up,
Oh,
it's funny you say that. I was a hockey player too, and I swore by Easton skates and Easton sticks.
yeah.
And it was because they kind of had the lock on carbon fiber technologies. They have since sold that side of the business. I believe either like CCM or Bauer.
Okay.
But yeah, they no longer make sporting goods. They also don't even they used to make like bats and stuff for
Yeah.
like softball and baseball, and I don't believe they make those anymore either.
Really? Okay.
They're
Yeah.
really, really I got a when I was out, at OR, the gathering that we met at, I actually got a tour of their facility because they are located in Salt Lake City.
Oh, cool.
And their bread and butter is arrows. Like,
Yeah.
their pedigree for making high performance carbon fiber arrows, for archery, but also for, like, Olympic level archery
Yeah.
shooting is pretty insane, where they threw out some stat that I'm gonna probably misquote it, but like the past 4 or 5 summer Olympics with archery, every single medal position in every single archery event was won with like an Easton arrow, which
Wow.
is an insane stat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. I know as an engineer, you probably geek out over that cool kind of stuff too. Like it's just neat watching that whole process. I can't remember where I saw a YouTube video on carbon fiber and stuff like that. But
Yeah, it's an interesting process because there's 2 styles for most um, round carbon fiber products, whether they're just small tubes for a temple or we're talking giant uh, support structures. And there's a hand woven, a hand rolled product where they have a
Mhm.
mandrel and they'll roll it over that and either vacuum form it, bake it off, and then remove the mandrel, or a process that Easton use called is called pultrusion, where it's a continuous process. They feed um, wetted carbon fibers in a very specific orientation and wrap
Yeah,
into a mandrel, and it forms it all in one continuous press, and it just, yeah, it pulls it through. It's very impressive to watch.
that's cool. That's awesome. So, I guess when did you get your first product? Like, what was the day that you kind of launched your website and your product and everything else? I'm sure that was not too long ago then.
It was April or May of 24
Okay.
was when, yeah, when the website went live.
Okay. Cool. And then what would you think would be easy but turned out really, really hard launching your product?
Wow, turned out easy. Honestly, I would have to say marketing and branding.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm an engineer. I kind of a one man show here, so I have to be logistics and marketing and branding and sales, as well as engineering and design and development. I'm Yeah, I'm okay. I wouldn't say I'm good. I'm okay at
Yeah.
at building things, at making things, at improving things, at testing things, at designing things. I am a complete and total novice, and I still am very much struggling when it comes to like the marketing side of things,
Yeah.
the branding side of things, getting the product out there in front of people. Because as I hope you can relate yourself when you see it, it just makes so much sense to you. You're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, how has no one else thought of that? How does this not exist elsewhere? How have I never had this before?
Yeah.
Um, but that difficulty on a larger scale in front of a more diverse audience and consumer base, getting that information in front of them succinctly, clearly, in a way that resonates, in a way that, yeah, encourages them to engage is very, very difficult, and it definitely did not give it enough credit when I started this journey.
I mean, I feel like marketing it's like a working out, it's like
Mm.
80%, like 20% is your product and 80% is the marketing. Cause
Mhm.
I'm sure you've seen, and everybody can attest to like, you've seen really crappy products, but they sell like hotcakes because
Oh,
they're
yeah,
just really
yeah.
good marketers.
Yep.
And you're like, but I have a better product, but sometimes you just don't know how to market it as well, which kind of sucks. And in the wedding photography industry, I see photographers all the time that they suck at wedding photography, but they're just really good marketers. And I'm like, oh, I just wish you would have done more research on your big day, So that's why when I started doing the outdoor photography myself, I tried to do stuff that was genuine and like on the trail as opposed to, the not that I don't do the fake stuff, but also I know that there's a lot of people who want to see it in the real world. Like when you were
Yeah.
on Denali, right? Like imagine having pictures of, you on
Yeah, happened.
Denali and in the
Oh,
real
man.
world and everything else. I mean, you can kind of replicate that a little bit, but
I mean, that's the goal, right? That is,
yeah,
I wanna grow no matter to the point where I can afford to take me and some marketers and some
yeah,
some paid,
yeah,
advertisers, shall we say, on to Denali, and,
yeah,
"Oh, no, it's a paid business trip on to climb Denali, and we'll take some pictures, and it'll be great."
yeah. I just did a trip with some guys out to on the Colorado Trail, and I was doing just hanging out with them, doing photo and video for them, but I hurt myself on the trail.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I twisted my ankle like the second day in, so I only got we were doing like 25 miles a day, and it was brutal, and I felt so bad because it was like a work trip for them, and then it was a marketing trip for me with them.
Mhm.
We still got some great pictures and everything else, but you never know what's going to happen on trail. But at the same time, like I have someone on the podcast tomorrow who injured themselves when I was on Mount Whitney
Mm.
just a few months ago, and I asked her, can she tell her story because it shows the one, it's just a great story, but also shows how great the product is that I just happen to be carrying with me that I was able to give her to let her use to keep her warm and her husband and them safe.
Wow.
So that I just going back to just I always love real life situations and scenarios because it shows the product actually being used as opposed to just all these fake ads and stuff that you see all the time. Now you can combine both, of course, and it depends on your brand and everything. But I feel like the real life scenarios resonate more with people and sell your product more because then people go, this is going to like that whole story where you're talking about you're in Denali, snowed in, and you're just sitting in your tent relaxing back. I can just totally see that because I went on the trail. I didn't take my chair with the guys in Colorado, but we
Mm.
were doing so much that we only got to the camp really quickly. We went straight to sleep.
No, a bit
But
of bivouacking.
yeah, but with my Helinox chair, it would have taken me a while to set it up and everything else. Versus this, I can easily, especially in my tent, I can
Mhm.
sit in this. Versus a Helinox, I can't really sit in my tent as much with it because I'm up higher and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I'm going to
The
put some
other
pictures.
the
Go
other
ahead.
risk too, I guess
Yeah,
selling the product, right, is you're not gonna find another chair that you kind of already identified that you can use in a tent, whether it is
yeah,
just for overhead or damaging the base floor of the tent.
yeah,
'Cause, you're off, and so you get pressure points on
yeah,
all the they might have pads, but all the little sharp corners of your chair that are just gonna dig into the base fabric of your tent. It's not an issue
yeah,
for the antimatter chair.
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I put some pictures in at some point. Usually I put it in at the beginning of the video so people will be able to see it and so they'll identify it before. It's like, what are they talking about this whole time? All right. So what was there a moment when you realized, oh wow, this is actually working? Like what was it? Was there a moment when it was a trade show or somebody reviewed your product or what was it like?
Uh, I'll I'll let you know when I experience it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, it's always the engineering again. I keep echoing back to that, but I see it
Yeah.
so much in my field. The engineering mindset is of perfectionism, continuous improvement. It's never good enough, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
might have 10 people, you might have 9 of them love the product and rave about it, but that one person that has a critique, has an issue with it, is going to linger with you far longer than the other 9.
Yeah.
Um, and it sticks with you, and it's kind of the process of taking, your creation and making it public and opening up yourself to that critique and feedback. But to
Yeah.
the question of, oh wow, is this working? Probably when I got my first distributor, when I got my first
Yeah.
retail sale distributor, and it made it so it was vindicated in the eyes of a professional retailer,
Yeah.
that has seen hundreds, thousands of products, and identified it as, yeah, like we can sell this. Like this is within our wheelhouse, within our brand. We see the merit in it, you know, hopefully just like you have.
Yeah.
And we're gonna buy, a bunch and sell them. And it was like, oh wow, this isn't just, the Etsy shop of, okay, cool, I made a website and a thing, and some
Yeah.
people bought the thing. Now it's like, I actually have retailers that are looking to
Yeah.
spread it too. So I'd say that's probably the first, oh wow, this is working. But I'm yeah, when I hopefully grow a little bit more, get a
Yeah.
dedicated space and some staff, hopefully it'll be a little bit more of the feeling, oh wow, this is working.
Yeah. Because I feel like people try to grow too fast sometimes.
Hmm.
And me personally, I grew slow and bought everything. Now, I know there's certain industries you can't always buy everything cash as you go, but I tried to grow slow. And I tell people in the photography industry, like, you can do it without going, crazy with it. But I think that would be the coolest thing. In my mind, if I create a product and like all of a sudden a retailer is like, hey, we want to get a whole bunch of your stuff and sell it on our site, or in our store, I'd be like, man, people actually believe in this dream.
Hmm.
So, and I'm sure that'd be so cool. So that's neat.
The
So I get,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, no. I was just going to ask you another question.
Oh, yeah, it's good. The echoing, I guess, to the critique and the feedback, both on Garage Grown Gear and the reviews. Um, I do read those, I guess, as
Yeah.
feedback to people that are
Yeah.
gonna be, perusing Garage Grown Gear, any retailer, and they wonder if the reviews are real or fake, or if they ever get back to the originator. They do. I read them. They're,
Yeah.
and that kinda echoes to, most of them are really good, and they got really great 5-star reviews. There's some really good feedback in there as well that I've definitely taken and integrated into, continuous improvement, new designs. Um, but even more so, I have a contact us page, as everyone does on their
Yeah.
website, and it just sends an email directly to me. And the passion and level of just interest in the both like outdoor industry, but specifically the ultralight like
Yeah.
industry, is really, I don't want to use the word insane, but it's really surprising to me just how passionate these people are, because I have had complete strangers from all over the world message just an anonymous website, connect us message, like raving praise of just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I never knew I needed this. This thing solved this problem. And I'm a big outdoor hunter, and I go hiking up in the mountains for alpine
Yeah.
sheep. And oh man, this thing has just saved my back. I love this so much. Thank you. It's like, that's awesome. Like, thank
Yeah.
you. Like, can I help you out more? Is there something like, is there feedback in there? Are you just putting
Yeah.
a nice message just to some anonymous person? And so that's been really cool and really vindicating. And the flip side, you
Yeah.
get people that are haters. You get people that,
Yeah.
oh, this thing is just a knockoff of this chair, or this thing is crap because who wants to sit on the ground? It's not a chair, it's a backrest. It's
Yeah.
like, why do you care so much? It's for a, a specific person.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. So yeah, like I said, the thing that's been
Yeah.
shocking has been the passion, I guess, shall we say, that
Yeah.
people exhibit unsolicitedly.
That's cool. I was just thinking when you said hunter too, a lot of times I see hunters. So I'm not a hunter, but I do see a lot of pictures of hunters, and they're always sitting on the ground, leaning on a log,
Hmm.
and they're sitting there waiting because you can't really sit in certain types of chairs when you're hunting because you need to have
Yeah,
the
low
ability to
profile.
get on target and be low and stuff like that. And I was like, man, your chair is awesome for
Hmm.
hunters because they literally sit on the ground and lean there all the time.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
great.
no,
I'm gonna.
the big thing is, they call it glassing. I've been contacted by
Yeah.
a bunch of, big game hunters up in Canada, up in BC, where
Okay.
they call it glassing, where they'll sit on the side of this mountain looking for alpine sheep and ram behind binoculars. And
Yeah.
normally they're just like sitting on a pad, or just similar as a tent, sitting crisscross or
Yeah.
up against a log, a backpack. And same kind of mission requirements. They don't want to carry extra weight because they're hiking up a mountain.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they have found this product, and I'm working on getting a variant that's camo, and one that's blaze orange, just for the hunting community, for
Yeah.
exactly that reason.
That's cool. I have a camping trip coming up. My buddy's birthday. He wanted to go for an overnight, and they've never
Mm.
camped before. And so they're asking
That'd be
me, and
fun.
I was like, hey, let's just do something really easy. And so I'm gonna take this with me and then have them try it because they're both two of the guys are hunting. Two of the three guys are hunters.
Mm,
So I'm gonna have them try it out
for
and see
sure.
what they think too. So
That'd be great.
um,
I'd love the feedback.
they'll give feedback. They're the kind of guys that will give feedback. Okay, so going into a little bit more about your chair, um, I guess what's one thing about running an outdoor business that nobody warned you about? Well, I guess you kind of answered that with, the reviews and stuff like that, getting that feedback and everything else. But if you have anything else to kind of expand upon that, that'd be super.
Um, I guess moving from hobbyist enhanced to, I guess,
Yeah.
startup business, was a challenge, just looking for good partners.
Yeah.
So, I am not capable of sewing or cutting out fabric and sewing them at high quality for thousands of units. And so it's going out to, contract sewing shops, working with their people, running samples, checking quality. Okay, what are your minimum order quantities? What's your lead times? What's your per unit prices? Kind of trying to figure out domestically where that's going to occur and going to be most, beneficial. So yeah, finding the right partners for, contract selling shops was a challenge. The injection molding, not too much, just because of the engineering background. I knew how to make plastic hardware,
Yeah.
and get that jobbed out. But yeah, getting the logistics in place, with the right contractors, and then the right kind of ordering frequency and ordering communication and purchase
Yeah.
orders was challenging. And I think a thing a lot of people don't think about when, they can go onto Amazon and buy 10 of something that is exactly their thing. Great. Okay, how do you get 1,000? How do you
Yeah.
sustainably get 1,000? How do you check quality on that 1,000? How do you assemble that So,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of weaponizing your bill of materials, in a sense, to make it as efficient as possible.
Yeah. So in that process, I guess a question that kind of comes to mind is um, that, oh crap, this sucks moment. Have you had like any? Because I do hear a lot of things from people who they've either had problems with the outsourcing that they've done with getting moldings done and stuff like that. And I guess starting out, even though you're an engineer and been working in that industry, have you had problems before, like with the vendors and stuff like that, or any communication issues? Because I know some stuff is a lot of times done overseas or whatever, and it's like, oh man, we had this miscommunication, and now I've got 100,000 instead of 10,000.
So luckily not. Yes and no. So I am very proud to say the chair is, made in the USA. My cement company is domestic. They're actually located right here in Wisconsin.
Oh, awesome.
It's funny. I looked for places. Literally, I travel all over the country and visited some of these sites, and the one we ended up going with was pretty close by. So that was very
That's cool.
convenient. Um, for the yeah, it's funny you asked that. I'm in the midst of an issue for an injection molding machine, because it's the hot thing to complain about right now for
Yeah.
serious reason. My molds for the first and second batch of antimatter chairs was located over in China, and so I would have them shot over there and shipped over. Um, Tariffs were insane, and all of a sudden, like, the price per unit, like, increased threefold, and it was literally cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
If I was going to continue ordering those, I could not make a profit at all.
Yeah.
Which is terrible, but silver lining, there were some changes I wanted to make anyways to some of the dimensions on the plastic hardware to because the things had been field tested. I saw a couple failures in extreme cases on one specific joint. Cool, no problem. Let's reinforce that, and make that better. And then I also made a few, shall we say, ease of use improvements that required the plastic to change a little bit. So it's like, okay, I have to go through getting new molds made anyway. Going to do it domestically. Um,
Okay.
and so I'm in the process right now. I'm actually running really, really low on inventory,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate to say as you're in an interview, because I'm waiting on more plastic to be delivered because I'm
Yeah.
having a quality control issue on two of the new parts where the mold maker, the tool maker, oversized them a little bit. So I'm having
Oh,
to
I see.
work with that company, and their QC and argue over tolerance on prints for, hey, this part is out of spec. You got to change this, and I need this now because
Yeah.
I'm out of inventory, and we're and I need to start making these again. So yeah, it's kind of just a grit and tenacity thing. You got to know what you want. You got to know how to communicate effectively with these different vendors and kind of what I said earlier, juggle multiple balls
Yeah.
because, okay, cool, we're going into our third production batch for antimatter chairs. What do I have left over for just kind of stock supplies of paracord, labels, cord ends, shock cord? Do I have sufficient inventory to make? Do I need to, batch that out? What's the status and inventory of things? And
Yeah.
these are problems every company has, and probably trivial problems for most, but for your single man operation as a part-time gig, it's a lot of spreadsheets. It's
Yeah.
just trying to keep on top of things.
I mean, does it take, I'm always interested, does it take like between like making a change and then getting stuff done, for let's say a new mold or something like that? Is it days or weeks, or is it just depend on
It
the
depends
type of
on
thing?
your provider.
Yeah.
There are some companies that are big enough that have the machine shops in-house where they can make the molds internally, adjust them, tweak them, and then shoot them.
Yeah.
Um, and again, depending on your volume and how big of a buyer you are, that can be as quick as weeks.
Okay.
For most situations, for small production runs, with smaller players and smaller shops where your overhead and your costs aren't going to be as large for the purchaser,
Yeah.
it's months. Yeah, to get
Yeah.
a new mold made, it's months.
Wow. Man, that's brutal. I didn't even think about that. So I hope everything works out. I mean, I know it will, but at the same time, I know like those headaches come and go. This is very petty compared to your problem, but I came home from a photo shoot, and I usually always I have a carry-on size luggage, and so all my camera gear's in there, and I always zip it closed. But there's always every few years where every 5 or 6 years, I forget to zip it closed because I'm in a hurry to grab something out of the bag last minute at an event or something. I grabbed the lens, forgot to zip it closed, got home,
That sounds
pulled the
expensive.
luggage out of the car, and all of my lenses fell out of the bag. And two of them,
Oh,
the front element shattered, the camera body
that
smashed on
sounds
the ground.
expensive.
And I have insurance, and it's, it's
Oh,
a $250 deductible, so it's not a crazy big deal. But when you have an
yeah.
event the next day,
That hurts.
I don't want to use my backup gear because my backup gear is always just the previous gear I had before I upgraded to the
Mhm.
newer stuff.
You get used to the better stuff. Yep, for
Yeah.
sure.
And it was such a headache that I was like, man, I need even better backup gear.
But then that's no longer the backup, then it's the primary.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so it took about a week to get most of the stuff back, which was a lot better than most repair companies because
Mm,
Canon has a huge service. But
that's
um,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I hate running into those snafus in business.
Vicious circle. I mean, but that is it's part of the business, right? Like,
Yeah,
never if in our regular lives, nothing ever works perfectly, and so that just goes
yeah,
double for any business, right? It's
yeah.
just, yeah,
And when
persevere.
you're running it by yourself too, I mean, when you're working for somebody, if you have a sick day, it's not a problem. You just stay home and you're still
Just
getting paid usually. But when you're running a company by yourself, I can't have a sick day because I might have to go and do a photo shoot. Or today for me, it's pouring rain outside. I was supposed to do a photo shoot for a new product that's coming out, and I needed a barbecue that's outside on my backyard, and I can't shoot it because it's pouring rain.
Mother
And now
Nature says
everything,
no.
yeah, and now everything else is stacking up because I had another photo shoot this evening during the sunset, but it's raining. So it's now trying to find time to just have those, reschedule my schedule. So,
Yeah.
um, I guess you talked about this a little bit, but can you tell me a moment when a customer story or review hit you really hard? Because we talked about reviews earlier, and I know you got some great reviews, and it could be a harsh review. It doesn't have to be like a wow, this was awesome. It can be a oh man, like this just hurt me. Because I know
Mm.
creating your own products, or for me creating images, I'm very emotional, so it hits me really
Mm,
hard
mhm.
when someone goes, I don't like that. And I'm like, oh, I put all this effort into doing that picture, and stuff like that. So I'm sure creating your little baby, it's like someone saying your baby's ugly.
Yeah. No, it's you hit the nail right on the head. It's, yeah, it is exactly like that for a design that you've put so much time, effort, heart, blood, sweat, tears, all
Yeah.
the things into, and you know it's not perfect, but you know it's not terrible, and
Yeah.
you put it out there just for the world to see, and, like everything these days, some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna not like it, and you're gonna get the extremes. Some people are gonna absolutely love it and think it's the best
Yeah.
thing since sliced bread. Some people are going to hate you on a personal level for putting out something that they don't think should exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it all. I am at this point very happy to say I have only ever had, 2 returns.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
so and not necessarily I've had some product failures, dudes, like, overloading it or shock loading it, leaning
Yeah.
or, like, jumping on it effectively,
Yeah.
and some of the plastic hardware has failed. I mentioned we went and reinforced some of those joints, but they reach out to me, I immediately send them, like, well, an offer to replace the entire chair. So far, a lot of them just take me up on I'll send them the plastic part bits and, some pictures of, "Okay, this is how you replace it."
Yeah.
Because it's not difficult, but I've had 2 returns, and that's okay. People reach out and just, "Hey, I this chair sucks."
Yeah.
"Oh, okay. I'm very sorry. Can" one person, it was just, "This thing sucks. I hate it. I'm returning it. I don't like it." Another
Yeah.
one was more descript in, um I think their spouse got it for him as a gift, and they got it, and they didn't like, that there was no cushion, that, like, I
Yeah.
don't I'm sitting on the ground, and I was expecting more for this price point.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was expecting a lazy boy recliner or what, and yeah, was very harsh for, I guess, the value proposition of the chair,
Yeah.
which did hurt me. I guess we're gonna talk about exposing ourselves. Um, the chair is priced where it is purely because of its domestic made and the cost of
Yeah.
goods sold.
Yeah.
It's kind of a paradoxical situation with, as you said, everything being made overseas right now. But as you kind of hold the chair in your hand, and then you see like $100 price point, you know, for what? This thing's nothing. It's so light. I can
Yeah.
go to, you know, any outdoor Dick's or camping store REI and get like the Coleman camping chair where you're off ground,
Yeah.
um, for 30 bucks,
Yeah.
40 bucks. Um, and that's economies of scale paired with you're getting what you pay for in terms of quality of materials, and to really shave ounces, to start looking at every single
Yeah.
component and go, okay, how can I make this so that it meets the mission parameters, so it's going to support, you know, a person. I have tested it officially to 250 pounds. I've had like 350-pound guys sit on it, like at OR. You might have seen some.
Yeah.
There were some big
Yeah.
dudes that sat on it.
Yeah.
It was fine. It held up
Yeah.
just fine. I'm confident it can go much higher, both for material strength and some of the components I've loaded with two of me on, and they're
Yeah.
fine. But to loaded, you know, to the 250-pound requirement,
Yeah.
how do I make this as light as possible for the strength? And that's kind of where we get into the carbon fiber poles,
Yeah.
to the high strength ripstop nylon, and it costs to cut ounces, which
Yeah.
again, paradoxical.
Yeah.
And for the soccer mom who, you know, is taking little Johnny to soccer practice and needs a chair, probably not the right thing for them,
Yeah.
because they don't need to save ounces. Maybe they don't want to sit on the ground. Um, Again, it's kind of got a niche market. But for
Yeah.
those who identify, I'll just echo some experiences I've had, and a lot of other climbers have had on Denali. You'll cut your toothbrush in half
Yeah.
to save ounces.
Yep.
You will take the entirety of the toilet paper roll off the cardboard tube on the inside and pack it down to
Yep.
save that weight and that garbage. Like you go to pretty extreme lengths, and so I wanted to mirror that in
Yeah.
this product, so that, and I really push it hard, that it enables the adventurer to carry a chair where they wouldn't have before.
Yeah.
You know, you have it there. It's the size of a fanny pack. It's half a pound. It's the
It
weight of your
weighs
cell phone.
nothing.
Yeah, it's 8 ounces on the dot with the stuff sack.
So
Um,
what is it without the stuff sack? Just as a
6.7.
question, because that's crazy. Because I never take my stuff sacks with me on anything,
Yeah.
and so I'm always like, that's
Do I
crazy.
need
Because
it?
then, yeah,
Well, and you could use like a rubber band or like an elastic cord to
yeah,
bunch it together. It does help when you break the poles down and roll the
yeah,
thing up to have it into something that keeps it nice and compact. But yeah,
yeah,
you don't need the stuff sack.
yeah,
But yeah, to finish that, yeah, how do I get this as light as possible, to really differentiate it from other options out there?
yeah,
Because for ultralight chairs, whether on ground or off ground, the next nearest is like 24 ounces.
yeah,
Uh, so I'm undercutting it by like a factor of three.
yeah,
But again, it's not for everyone. People have different requirements when they go and sit. It's a niche product, but one that I really do believe,
yeah,
hence my passion and my push to get it out there, has a home in different avenues that I didn't even initially consider.
yeah,
You know, I may made it for alpine climbing, but then actually I'll give full credit to my girlfriend at the time, my now wife, who kind of opened my eyes to, um, hey, this was, she's from Florida. We used to live down in Florida. Is the backstory there? Hey, can you make me one? I want to take it to the beach. Like me and my friends like go
yeah,
to the beach all the time, and this would be great just to have to sit on the beach without having to lug a
yeah,
big metal beach chair. Or I've got family cousins, uncles that are big hunters that sit up in a tree stand, and they're like, hey, you should market that to hunters. Like
yeah,
that's great for hunting. Outdoor concert venues, some of them don't even allow pop-up chairs to be brought in,
yeah,
but you can bring a blanket to sit on the ground, or a fanny
yeah,
pack with a chair inside of it where you're sitting on the ground.
yeah.
So that market kind of quickly expanded to larger than I initially thought, and went all in.
That's really awesome. That's as you're saying that, I'm thinking of all the other ways that you can use it that I'm sure people will just continue to tell you like, hey, you can do it, use it for this. I didn't even think about the beach because we hate taking stuff down to the beach. I used to be that dad when my kids were
Yep.
younger and I had that huge stroller and then trying to carry three
You
or
had the
four
wagon. Yep.
chairs.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
There's
yeah,
a funny picture. I gotta, it's buried somewhere in my trove of pictures. Um, where it shows that duality, right? Like we're down
yeah,
at the beach and we've got someone holding four chairs, two in each hand, kind of emphasizing it
yeah,
for dramatic purposes, but like
yeah,
lugging four chairs, where then you have someone holding four antimatter chairs on a pinky.
yeah.
So
No, yeah. My son does cross country, and I've been bringing my backpacking chairs with me, and all the parents have been bringing those huge chairs with them.
good.
And we walk in with, you know, maybe 3 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds worth of chairs, and the other parents have 10 pounds worth of chairs.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to go to my son's next race with this.
It adds
And they're
up.
going to be like, that's a chair. I'm like, yeah. They're going to see me sitting
Mm.
going, oh, I don't think, because you're going all over the track and
Oh, sure.
everything else.
Yeah,
And
you're right. I guess you are constantly moving for that. For yeah, yeah.
so that would be, that's a cool little, I love watching people's faces when I show up with the random outdoor gear that I have. But going back to you're talking about cutting weight and stuff like that, it is amazing how people sometimes can't get past the fact that in order to make it lighter, it gets more expensive just because the materials that are lighter materials end up being more expensive.
Hmm.
So there's nothing you can kind of do,
Yeah. No.
without raising the price and stuff like that. So, and I think me personally, just seeing everything in the outdoors and stuff, I think it's a perfect price. It's not in my mind, it's not too crazy, and I'm a cheap guy, so
Yeah. Well,
like,
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. I really, really didn't want to get into the plus $100,
yeah,
which again, for a lightweight chair, the Helinox and Nemo, they're up in the 130 to 180.
yeah,
So they're already, above me, but um yeah, I'm really trying to be adamant to hold it there. But inflation, I imagine at some
yeah,
point it will have to go up, but I want to keep a good margin underneath
yeah,
those competitors.
yeah. And I could see too, because I take like usually like a 1/8 inch little rolled pad with me to just put
Funny,
under my butt.
funny you say that. No, so the initial, I guess, impetus for the antimatter
Yeah,
chair, lightweight as possible, small as possible. You're really not caring as much about comfort, because either a you're not sitting really long enough where it makes much
yeah,
of a difference. For in my mind, my wife and I, earlier this year, we were out in Yosemite. We were doing some hiking up there, and we were up walking. I forget the name of the trail, but one of the back up the one of the falls,
yeah,
and we had a backpack. We each had one of our chairs. We had our water, and we had lunch. We walked up to the top of this waterfall, took our chairs out, ate lunch, overlooking Half Dome
yeah,
and the waterfall. It's like, this is incredible. Like, this is amazing.
yeah,
This is perfect. This is all we wanted, was a nice backrest,
yeah,
enjoy our lunch, enjoy the view, um, eat, pack up, head out. Perfect.
yeah,
Perfect application. Or, as I kind of said, you're in a tent where you already have a sleeping pad or a foam roll or a sleeping bag that you have a chair over the top of,
yeah,
and you don't need it. It's
yeah,
already in there. And so why put additional cushion into the base when it's just going to add bulk and weight?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
okay, that's antimatter chair.
yeah,
By and large, the largest feedback I've gotten from people, and I, again, engineer, I've literally have a spreadsheet. Um, Biggest recommendation is integration of a cushion. Yep, 100% agree. I am working on it. It's covered under the same patent. I'm calling it the dark matter chair. And
Oh,
that
cool.
chair
That's
will
cool.
have an integrated cushion into the chair base.
Yeah,
The exact same back as the antimatter chair, but then will give a little bit of additional comfort to the user at the cost of a little bit more weight and bulk.
yeah,
I'm really pushing for it to be an air inflatable cushion. So again,
yeah,
it minimizes that bulk. And not that foam is too heavy, but it is more
yeah,
bulky. Trying to pack that
yeah,
thing down, where you have an integrated air cushion, you can get away with it. So that's in
yeah.
the works. I'm hoping to make that a reality sometime in mid 26.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be. a neat little product. I can imagine you probably have sketches all over the place and stuff like that too that are
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You have no
awesome.
idea. It's actually I keep them. I have a big binder, and it's interesting to look back at. I was just looking back at a couple weeks ago of some of the initial sketches for the hardware for
Yeah.
the antimatter chair, and seeing that kind of come full circle and seeing the evolution of that is rewarding.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, well, I'm gonna ask you one last question, and then I'm gonna go into. I didn't send these to you because I don't send them to people, or else they know how to answer them already. But it's got a little bit of a lightning round. It's just
Ooh,
gonna be
pop
a
quiz.
couple of quick questions and stuff like that. Kind of get to know you a little bit better,
Okay.
too. So, I guess the last thing is I love always finding out is what advice would you give to someone on the trailhead of their business that's just starting out, um, of their business dream. So, just advice for someone who's starting out
That is
in their business.
a good question. I would say cling to your passion, cling to your vision, because no one else will.
Yeah.
You might have a good support system, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to keep driving and keep things moving, even when times get tough, and they're gonna suck.
Yeah.
There's gonna be times I yeah, and I'm not claiming to be above it. I'm literally in the middle of one now where
Yeah.
it's like, why am I doing this? This is a huge tax of my time, my finances, just blood, sweat, and tears again into is this worth it? But you have to cling to your passion and your vision of whatever your product or service could be.
Yeah. That's good. That should be on a t-shirt.
And be a long
But
I don't I have a couple sentences. I feel like that
yeah,
might be a bit of a ramble for a t-shirt, but
it sounds like the same thing when I do weddings, like the preacher or whoever will always be like, there's gonna be ups and downs and it's gonna
mm,
be hard sometimes. We just gotta push through
it's a
and
good
know that
analogy.
it's,
It's a good I mean, a marriage and a business. Yeah, they are commitments.
yeah. No, they really are. Okay, well, thank you so much for all that info. Now, what I'm going to do is just go into our rapid fire round real quick. I'll ask you like about between 5 or 10 questions. Most of them will be one word answers, and maybe one or two of them will be a little deeper than you thought they were going to be. So,
Okay.
no pressure. All right, first thing is favorite national park.
Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Yep.
That's my wife and I's. I think that's our number one. Grand Canyon is our is my wife's number one. I'm kind of more Yosemite number one.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
Yosemite, now that I'm thinking about Yosemite or Denali National Park,
yeah.
just because,
So
yeah, they're both just it's the grandness of scale. They're just so
yeah,
massive.
yeah.
It just really warps your perspective of scale.
It's like when you drive up to Rainier for the first time because
Mm,
it's such a low elevation
mhm.
that you just drive up and you just see this giant,
Yeah, the
massive,
prominence. Yeah.
and you just go, "Wow, this is huge." And your camera on your phone just cannot capture
Yeah.
how huge that really is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, solo hike or crew mission?
I'd say it depends.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're doing, what your goal is. If you're out just looking to relax and have a good time and interact with nature, definitely crew.
Yeah.
For a challenge, for like y- I look at alpine climbing um, as a physical challenge where I
Yeah.
look at that as deeply personal. Similar, I've done like triathlons. You're
Yeah.
in a group environment, it's very encouraging, but it's a deeply personal endeavor where it's just
Yeah.
you against um your medal.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, worst trail snack you've ever tried?
Oh, this is gonna be throwing shade, and I hope no one from this company comes back at me. I think they're called Epic. It's like they have like bison and turkey and like different types of meats that
Okay.
are jerkies.
Yeah.
And when I was prepping for the food I wanted to take onto Denali, I tried a bunch of different stuff that I was going to carry with me, and those got a lot of really good reviews. And I tried a
Yeah.
couple different ones, and they were just terrible.
Oh, no.
They gave me some, yeah, so they gave me some stomach stuff. I think, yeah, I think they were called like Epic Bites or yeah, some kind of they just different types of meat
Yeah.
jerky.
So then the flip side of that, what's your favorite trail snack?
Here's a funny one. So, uh, at elevation, like normal elevation when I'm working out, I really
Yeah.
like, um, Kind makes, like a protein bar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the name of it, but yeah, it's just like a Kind protein bar where, yeah, just kind of a good blend of
Yeah.
macros, a little bit of protein, and they're filling. I like the flavor of them. Other thing I'm a big advocate of is Scratch Labs. They make a drink mix.
Yeah.
It's a hydration mix. They
Yeah.
make a bunch of different flavors, both for if you're just trying to get like a carb supplement or if you're just looking for electrolytes. I highly recommend those. Those are really, really good. Um, on on the f- on the altitude side of things, fun thing, corn nuts. I I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't know. Like I don't know why, but your appetite changes at altitude, where you just like crave different things.
Yeah.
And I had this like I occasionally wanted to some corn nuts and like a crunch. I craved corn nuts so much at high altitude. It's I don't know why, but yes, maybe it's just the crunch.
No, that's my wife's favorite trail snack is corn nuts.
Oh,
And
funny. Yeah, it's
those big, like, those huge giant ones. I can't remember the name of them, but they're like
okay.
they look insanely genetically enhanced, but they're like some Peruvian corn nut that's
Okay.
just naturally grown huge.
Oh, yeah, I'm not familiar, but yeah, it was an accident that I stumbled upon, but yeah, it was weird.
All right, next one. What's one outdoor skill you kind of suck at?
One outdoor skill that I kind of suck at. Cross country skiing.
That's hard to stay up in skis.
That's why when we're in northern Wisconsin, there's a lot of cross country skiing
Yep.
around, and yeah, I always seem to wipe out and slide out because the boots you're always flipping out of them.
Yeah. All right, next one. This is a pretty deep, not deep one actually, but you might have to think about this for a second. If you could collab with any brand, who would it be?
For no matter or just in general.
For no matter.
Durst tents.
Sorry, who?
Durst tents.
Durst
There's
tents?
yeah, there's a company. I think he's out of Canada.
Oh,
Um,
Durston tents?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, Dan Durston.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
him. Yeah.
yeah,
He specializes just in making the most ridiculous, lightweight, smartly designed
yeah,
tents. Um, yeah, he knows. He's got a couple other products, but yeah, he knows his lane. He knows his product inside out. He has a cult following
yeah,
in the outdoor space, and um, I've actually had a conversation with him. He has a really, really good eye for design.
yeah.
So yeah, I would love to do an antimatter chair and a dirt tent.
That's cool. All right, two more. Most used piece of gear in your life right now,
Um,
outside of your product.
last time that's a black hole. I haven't actually done much outdoor stuff right now. Honestly, I would say I have a little summit pack, just like a little ultra lightweight backpack.
Yeah,
Uh, um, that no real pockets, just one tube, real thin straps.
yeah,
I've used that a lot just for like some day hike stuff that we've done, some traveling, where we recently went to Hawaii as a family, just as like a family getaway trip.
yeah.
And it fits perfectly inside your bigger normal check bag. And it works great just for getting around. I'd say that's probably my most used piece of gear recently.
What brand is it? You know what it is
I
specifically, or
honestly I don't know off the top of my head.
okay? I'm always looking for a good day pack because I have bags out the wazoo, but they're like 40, 50, 60, 70 liters,
Oh,
and
yeah, this is small.
I have no small day
It's
bag.
in the other room. I can go check for you later.
Yeah. All right. Last question is well, ask this what's something you're still learning as a leader? Even though you're a one-man team, what's one thing you're still learning as a leader right now?
Running out of a leader. Um, Tactical patience.
Yeah.
Knowing when to you need to push either yourself or others, people, subcontractors you've hired out to do your work, or vendors, versus when you need to ease off.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's cool.
I call that, yeah, maybe tactical, or I don't know the right terminology, strategic patience
Yeah,
of, yeah, there's a time when you need to be forceful or impactful, or send a very clear message, and there
yeah,
are times you need to relax and let it come to you, and
yeah.
knowing which situation calls for which.
That's good. That's good advice. I think everybody needs the whole point in this YouTube channel is a little bit to learn about products, but also like how you can better yourself as a business in
Yeah.
the industry, you know? So I think people will glean from that a lot. I know I
I
did.
I hope so, but my initial reaction is you're talking to the wrong guy, because I'm just still trying to figure it out too.
Hey, you have the ability to take the risk because I still have so many ideas in my head, but I'm not a risk taker. I'm a risk taker physically, but I'm not a risk
Mm.
taker financially when it comes to like going all out. So,
And it
you know,
is, you gotta commit to something.
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, Shawn, thank you so much for being on Beyond the Trailhead. Where can people find you online and your socials and all that good stuff?
Sure. No, I mean, first, thank you, Craig. This was great. When you reached out, I'm stoked to talk about the
Yeah,
product, and I really appreciate you taking the time and inviting me. So our website, nomatterproducts.com, is our online store and e-tail for the antimatter chair. Hopefully in a couple months here, the dark matter chair will be on there as well. We sell through Garage Grown Gear, is a very common retail. A lot of people in the on the outdoor space, especially the ultralight outdoor space, are familiar with. So if you want to pick up one of our products
yeah,
there as well, we are on Instagram at the handle at No Matter Products, and I do have a YouTube channel with, like, so far we only have two videos up there. One of them is
yeah,
a tutorial for just how to efficiently, effectively, deploy and stow the chair. It's just kind of a hand model showing you the best way to unfurl it, set it up, and then repackage it, just for people looking for a helpful tutorial. And one is
yeah,
is a promo video of me and some of my friends doing a kind of a spoof on carrying a heavyweight versus lightweight chair to some of the places that we have previously discussed, that I encourage people to check out and have a laugh. So, yeah, that's how you get in touch with us. That's our socials. You can, as I kind of mentioned earlier, feel free to reach out to me on my website through the contact us, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But seriously, like, yeah, I know it's not a lot lip service to a lot of individuals or companies. I really do love the feedback and appreciate the feedback, and I try to integrate as much as I can of it into improving the design, because I really do, and I'm passionate about continuously improving and bettering this design into just a bulletproof product. So, and I can't do that alone. I need
yeah.
field testing and I need feedback.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, I'll make sure that I give feedback as well as much as I can, and all those socials and stuff you just mentioned, I'll make sure those are in the description, in the YouTube video, and then
Be
in the
great.
podcast listing as well. And thank you so much. Thanks everybody for listening here on Beyond the Trailhead, and we can't wait to see everybody in their no matter chairs out on the trail. Thanks
I
so
hope
much,
that
Shawn. I
too.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate the time, man. Take care.
Bye.